Okay, the chat is now open. And welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to this webinar. I just want to start by the chat is now open. Okay, just give me 1 second. Okay. I just want to welcome you all. Antonio will be joining us soon because Antonio is now in Brussels because his son and daughter are graduating today. So he's in a very special moment. So he will be joining us in a minute. But we decided just to make sure that we stick to our plan to have every first Friday of each month to have an absolutely open discussion and talk about what is going on AI, what are the trends and this. So first, the chat is open to all of you. I just kindly ask you, because I'm here alone, and I want just to ask you, for those on Zoom, if you have any question, just please put it on the Q&A because it's easier for me to find, because it's impossible for me just to keep track on the chat here. Okay, so this just for you. So just use the Q&A and insert your question, comment, etc. So what I want to talk to all of you today, what is going on AI, and I want also today to share with you. So I did some tests today with ChatGPT and I will try to start by doing this. And one of the questions I received recently, it's about, okay, can ChatGPT or Gemini be a good advisor to my project manager role? And in the past, we all of us, we thought that, maybe it's not a perfect solution, because I was even one of them saying, okay, the answers of ChatGPT are too pasteurized. It means it's a very generic answer. It's a very flat answer that it's something like answering in a generic way for any question. But it changed. Today, it's the power of ChatGPT and ChatGPT 4.0 is absolutely amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And it's probably one of the best companions. And this is one of the reasons, just for you to know, why, for example, a few months ago, I decided to take PMO to input inside ChatGPT, because it's becoming so powerful that it's a truly impossible. It's truly impossible for me to compete in terms of knowledge. So what I will do now, I want you to follow with me what I will do. I have here my phone. So what I will do, I will share with all of you the screen of my phone. So you will see my phone, and I will do a live demo. I hope it works, okay? But I will do a live demo now with all of you so you can see what I will be doing. So now what I'm doing is I will share with all of you my screen. Let me just do one thing. Let me just revert and do one thing just to make sure that everything is fine with sound and image. Share. Okay. Okay. So now, what I hope, give me 1 second. So okay. Now, all of you are seeing the screen of my phone, and you are seeing ChatGPT. And I want just to show you how powerful you can do things. And this, for me, every time I do this demo, I get truly, truly scared. But let me do a technical question. Okay. So what I will do, I will press the button here, this headphone button, to activate the multimodal approach of ChatGPT. And I will ask now to ChatGPT a question, but I will not write. I will ask in a verbal way. So, hi, ChatGPT. I am a project manager, and I'm doing a construction work. I need to change the floor of a meeting room as part of my bigger project. And this floor has 100 square meter of floor. And I am using a parametric model to calculate this. And the parametric model I'm using, it's 10 US dollars per square meter and 1 hour per square meter to prepare this floor. But I have a problem. The area of this auditorium, this meeting room, it's irregular. And when I use parametric modeling, I'm using an assumption that all square meters are the same, and the time is the same, and this. And this is not giving me a true precision on the planning process. I want to hear your advice. What I can do to improve my parametric modeling on this example of project I have to handle in. Can you help me?
Hi, Joaquim. I understand the challenge you're facing with the parametric modeling in an irregularly shaped meeting room. To improve the accuracy of your planning, here are a few steps you can take. 1. Detailed area calculation. Break down the irregular shape into smaller, regular shapes, like rectangles or triangles, to calculate the exact area more precisely. 2. Adjust time and cost estimates. For irregular areas, consider adding a complexity factor. This factor can account for the additional time and cost needed to handle irregular shapes, edges, and corners. 3. Use historical data. If you have past projects with similar irregular shapes, use data from those projects to adjust your parametric model. This can provide more accurate estimates based on real experiences. 4. Consult with specialists. Engage with flooring specialists who can provide insights on how irregularities impact time and cost. Their expertise can help refine your model. 5. Simulation tools. Utilize construction simulation software that can account for irregular shapes and provide more.
I just stopped here because it's did you understand what happened here? So I have ChatGPT and I have a dialogue with ChatGPT. If I close here, everything that ChatGPT said to me, it's here. So I have everything I may need. And I can do one thing more. I can say, can you do me a favor? Because I'm doing this demo for people from all over the world. Can you just explain the same explanation, but in something like 10 seconds? But I don't want you to explain in English as you explain it to me. Can you explain to me in Arabic, but do not take more than 10 seconds just to summarize this explanation?
Sure. Here's a brief explanation in Arabic. لحساب تكلفة وزمن العمل في غرفة اجتماعات غير منتظمة. الشكل بدقة. قم بتقسيم المنطقة إلى أشكال منتظمة. وأضف عامل تعقيد واستخدم بيانات مشاريع سابقة واستشف.
Did you see? And here it's in Arabic. Of course, I'm not an expert in Arabic, but what I want to show you, most of the people are still stuck in the past and thinking that, oh, ChatGPT, I need to prepare the prompt. How do you write the prompt? No, I'm talking, and this is multimodal GPT, okay? Multimodal GPT. And it's amazing. Let me tell you what I did this morning. You all know I handle different projects, different places in this. So I was running this morning. And instead of running, listening to a podcast and this, do you know what I did? I was with my phones talking with ChatGPT. Do you know what I did? I was in the morning running, and I say, I need to prepare a report for this project, and I want to use earned value management. Can you help me on addressing which kind of calculation should I do? And then the ChatGPT answer and say, oh, by the way, I need to send an email to a supplier asking about a delivery date. And this is true, okay? A delivery date of one equipment that I'm waiting for a project. Can you please prepare? His name is X. And this at the end, in the last 30 seconds of my run, do you know what I did? I said, now, ChatGPT, take everything we discussed in this 45 minutes of running and put this in one message for me, because as soon as I arrive, I will copy this and take action. So this happened today. This is July 5th, 2024. This happened today. I'm not talking about what will happen in the future. I'm talking about things you can do right now as you listen to me on this. And this is extremely powerful for a work like this one. And I know many people may ask me, Ricardo, but how do you handle, for example, privacy in this? Many times when I'm handling a private information or confidential information, what I do, I just change the conversation. For example, if I want to discuss a conflict with ChatGPT or get an insight on a conflict that I'm facing with a specific stakeholder, what I do, I change names, I change, and I try to create an analogous environment where I can get the answer, and then I translate back that answer to what I'm doing. So this is one of the biggest trends we see now. And of course, one thing, Copilot is already doing that, but ChatGPT very soon, and when I say very soon, means anytime between now and the end of the year, will be doing, for example, send an email, and it will send an email. This is all the concept behind Apple Intelligence. This is just one thing that is coming to my mind in this last month. And honestly speaking, this that I just show you, I am using every single day. I mean, honestly, I don't type anymore on ChatGPT. I don't type. I don't. I just talk. And many times I talk in Portuguese and then I switch to English and whatever. And it understands extremely, extremely well, even knowing that I'm not a native speaker in English. So this is one point that I want to highlight. The second thing I want also to share with you, also as a trend, is I was given a talk 3 days ago, and one of the participants asked me one question about the training of large language models and the cost, because the cost to train and to create a new GPT and this is becoming more and more expensive. We are talking about people spending $100 million, 150, $200 million to train. And what do I think about that? And these also will help us as a project management community to understand what is happening. And when I say that, I'm not saying that I love this, okay? I'm not saying at all that this is something that I like, but it's happening. There is a consolidation in the AI landscape. And what do I mean by that? It's because of the costs are so high, most of the companies are unable to compete with the leading technology companies, because $200 million is a massive amount of money for everybody. But when you have 700 billion US dollars in your bank account, like Apple, like Microsoft, and this, $200 million is not that big deal, right? It's not that big deal. So what happens is, this creates, if we go to the Kotler principles of marketing, this is creating a massive roadblock for new entrants. So what I can tell you is that I don't see, this is my personal, again, this is very informal discussion. I don't see at all a possibility of regular traditional companies to compete, because one thing that I gave as an answer to her in her question about this training, it's when you combine a mountain of cash, a mountain, with very competent, brilliant people. The only thing you should expect is disruption. And this is what we are seeing. Now, in the short to medium term, it means between now and the end of the year, the same tool I showed you now on this webinar, this quick webinar, we will do on video. Do you know what do I mean by that? You will, for example, go to a site, a project site, and you will put your camera on, and you ask ChatGPT and say, what is happening here? And they will say, oh, this building is late, it's work, oh, there is a problem on security. And with your camera, this is already there. It's not widely available, but it will be very soon. It means maybe when I finish this webinar, OpenAI will release that. And this is the trend. So it means most of the analysis data will be done by them. One super important point is that what I see, it's most of the tools and this are being developed, they will work on the top of this foundation layer. That is OpenAI or Gemini or Claude and this. It will be very hard. I'm not saying impossible, but very, very hard that someone can succeed on competing on this, on something that will replace GPT or do. And also what is happening today, these tools are becoming so proficient. Look, what I asked about parametric modeling, for example, if you're hearing to me and you were applying for the PMP, there is a good chance that one of the questions will be about parametric modeling, because it's a tool that we use a lot to simplify the calculation. But the problem is every time we use something to simplify, many times we run the risk of oversimplifying. And what GPT gave as an answer is the answer. If you were about to ask me what was my opinion, there is a good chance that I would say exactly what ChatGPT said. You create a complexity index, you can divide this room into different areas with different levels of complexity and attribute different levels of parametric modeling on each, and say, if it's a corner, then it's not 10, it's 12 the square meter. But if it's in the center, it's not 10, it's 8. And you create a fine tuning on that. And this is what we do. But the answer came from an AI device that was talking to me and answering to me. So imagine if you are on a PMO and you can create a type of support that combines this with your own information, you will give a tool to the project managers that is just breakthrough, that can change everything. So these are things that are in my mind. When Antonio and I we created this series of webinar, what we want is just to show what is really impressing us on this on this tool. So let me just take quickly some of the questions. Can you record the advice? Are you given an option to do so? Yes, Maria. Yes, you can record, and of course, don't forget that it's all here. It's all here. All the track is here, so you can copy, transform this into an email, etc. Hello, my dear friend Faha. Did you use your Mac laptop or iPhone? You can use both. I was on the phone because I wanted to demonstrate the portability of this, because many times you don't have your computer with you in your hands, but your phone, there is a good chance. So you can be on the spot, on the project meeting, or on a daily scrum, and you just press here and get your answer in seconds. This is a perfect example that you can do. Um, uh, uh, okay. What's the app? Use it in your cell phone. The app is called ChatGPT. It's not Ricardo GPT. It's not. It's ChatGPT 4.0, the app for iPhone, for Android. And, if you want, you go to chat.openai and do that. So there is nothing. Look, I'm not using anything special. The only thing special I use here is that I pay $20 to have a plus subscription of ChatGPT. And what's the difference if you don't pay? At some point, you will press and it will stop working, telling you that you are running out of credit and just next day. So you will have some limits in terms of questions and tokens you can ask on this. But if you pay, I use this. Oh God, I use this 20 times a day, okay? 20 times a day. Even today, I use many times, okay? How accurate is the advice? It's very, very good, Ria. It's very, very good. I asked it questions about earned value. I asked it questions about to complete CPI, about CPI. I made nice questions that I honestly, I know many project managers that will not be able to answer. So what is happening? A ChatGPT with the GPTs and the support became, I would say, the tool to go. And when I say ChatGPT, it's because I'm using more ChatGPT than Claude, than Gemini. But all these platforms on generative AI are becoming super powerful, okay? Are becoming super powerful. For example, I have the podcast. When I'm recording a podcast, I get many advice on talking to it's like a companion, really. It's like my companion in terms of deciding on a project, getting different insights. For example, sometimes I ask, I want to have different insights on how to sort out a conflict. Because, of course, the obvious, I know, no, you need to talk to people, you need to separate people from the problem. These we know. But when you want, I would say, a different approach, you can use that, okay? Is GPT-4 freely available? Yes, Federico, it is. Okay, hi, Ricardo. Is there any value for everyone here that you mentioned Perplexity AI as a replacement over ChatGPT and Gemini? Yes. Uh, JF, I use a lot of Perplexity too. What is the difference? Let me give you a 10 seconds class of generative AI because people do not get what OpenAI, Gemini, Claude, whatever, what they do. They take information. They take information. They take books. They take videos. They take Wikipedia pages and this. They put all of this in a blender and they turn on the blender. When they turn on the blender, they cut this into tiny pieces that we call tokens, okay? A token can be a letter, can be a word, can be a sentence, can be, for example, I love you can be a token, I can be another token, love can be another token, law can be another token. So they break this into, I'm saying, billions and trillions of these tokens. And what they do, when they take this blended mix, they take the word, for example, the token A, and then they try to analyze what is the next word. Oh, in 0.01% the cases is this word, is this. I'm talking millions, okay? Millions and billions. And this is how the model learns. Why I'm saying this? Because this is why it's so hard for ChatGPT to give you the source. Because imagine you taking a blender, mixing a billion things, and then you grab one spoon and say, where this spoon is coming from? Is this mind, for example, or is this ice, or is this, meat? It's very hard because it's all grinded. This is how GPT works. Then what Perplexity did? Perplexity created another layer that combines search, Google search, for example, with GPT. And it gives you the GPT power and the search. So Perplexity gives you the source. And this is where Perplexity wins a lot. However, this is personal. And again, I'm not an employee of Perplexity or OpenAI. The quality of the generated text on ChatGPT for me is better than perplexity. But the sources of perplexity gives me the complement. So what I'm doing today, I'm using both. Many times I use perplexity, take the first answer, then I take the first answer, put on ChatGPT to get a more polished answer. Okay? So this is how I do that. Maybe in the future, OpenAI will buy Perplexity, I don't know, and this may change. But this, JF, is how I do that. I like very, very much Perplexity. But in terms of generative, for me, it's a little bit worse. But many times it gives me the reason. One thing that people is asking me about hallucinations. Hallucinations are decreasing. Why they are decreasing? Because there is more and more information being fed into the system. It means when people start using, the model by itself start to become better. And this is why, for example, ChatGPT was very lousy on many answers in the past, and it's not anymore. And it's not. Of course, it does hallucination, but it does much less. And the trend, and you need don't think that this will not go forward because of hallucination, because I think that probably in 1 year and a half from now, um, hallucinations will be part of the past. This is again my feeling. Okay, Pascal, I thought the upgrade to ChatGPT 4.0 was more minor than this. Oh, my friend Pascal, in AI there is nothing minor. There is nothing minor. You know, every single day I wake up, I subscribe. Just to give you an idea, I subscribe more than 30 newsletters on AI every single day. It's like this. It's something like, say, what they are doing now. For example, if you remember, I post this on social media. I wrote with my dear friend Andre Barkawi an article about emotional AI detecting emotions. Dear friend, this is just insane. Let me show you. Let me show you what I'm talking about, because people do not get where we are moving towards. For example, oh, computers, for example, people are saying computers will never replace people. I understand that, but let me show you one thing. Let me show you one thing, because it's just for you to understand what I'm talking about, okay? So let me show this. Hold on, Google Chrome. Okay. Now you can see me, right? Let me just remove this. Okay. Okay. So now I'm here. Okay. You can see me on the screen. This is Visage Technologies. It's emotion, facial emotion recognition pattern. And I can see, okay, I want feature points on my face. Did you see? I'm blinking. Okay, it's tracking. Look, it's tracking my face. I want to put a wireframe on me. You can see the wireframe. I want you to guess. Okay, what's my gender? Okay, male. What's my age? 49. I'm 52. Okay, now 46. It depends on how I move here. But what is breakthrough emotions? When I speak, it tracks me just to the movement of my face and detect my emotions. And let me explain to you, what does this mean for us? So look, happiness, fear, sadness, disgust, whatever, surprise, I can have this. And look, let me scare everybody. I bet that by the end of this year, Zoom will have this. And do you know what will happen? You will be in a Zoom call with a screen of the other person you're talking here saying, he's not buying your idea. You need to be more convincing. No, he's sad. He's happy. He thinks you are lying. Yes, this may happen. But I know that there will be an avalanche of questions now saying, what will happen with privacy? What will happen with your individual perception? These are questions that I would love to have an answer. But, honestly, there's no answer yet. We don't know how privacy will take place on an environment like this one. But look, what I showed to you, it's it's nothing comparing with what I may show to you in 60 days. So this is why it's so important for us to keep the pace of these discussions. And for example, when Antonio and we decided to do this type of webinar, this free, look, I have no agenda, I have nothing. I have a piece of paper here and I put here that I want to do these demos and that's it. Why? Because we need to keep discussing because, 4 months ago, it was different. And 3 months ahead will be very, very different. And it will impact the work we are doing. And we need to be just mindful on that because it's a lot. So let me just because I have more than 20 questions here, just trying to go quickly. So Pascal, let me just finish. What are the main difference is more than the multimodal input? First, multimodal input. Second one, it's the language recognition for example, if you want to dictate a text to ChatGPT, you can do, and it will understand perfectly. So this concept of multimodal is very powerful, and the engine is slight better. It's not a breakthrough better, but it's slight better. But it's preparing the ground for a potential GPT-5 that will come soon. Okay, how we can anonymous? How can we structure our project data in order to prepare it for using AI tools? So, for example, late train the ChatGPT in our project data. So it's a very important point. First, let me talk about what was happening until recently, is that we think that we need to have an absolutely structured data to get to the results we need. Okay, we need to have perfect data, structured data. But what is happening now? Several, not one, not two, companies are investing massively to get unstructured data and train on unstructured data, and also train on synthetic data. So what is synthetic data? Is a data that is generated by AI. So you take a seed data that you know, and it generates future data using a dispersion of that. Of course, this is super dangerous because if this becomes a real big trend, what may happen? We all know it's at the time we may base our decisions only on synthetic data and not reality. It means you will be reading books that were written by AI, listening to music that were created by AI, talking to people. For example, Ricardo is not Ricardo anymore. It's an avatar of Ricardo, and it's an AI representation of Ricardo. And this is where the challenge is. But what is happening is that there is a revolution also on data. There is a massive revolution on how we manage data. And we need just to be super mindful on that, because many times we're trying to think on AI, but we are thinking on the way we structure data in the old way. And it's changing. It's requiring less and less structured data to do the analysis. However, I want to add this one point. And the concept of privacy and copyright is becoming more and more critical, because what is happening now is that what is privacy, right? What is privacy now? So, for example, I'm recording here. Imagine if that too, you would see, oh, Ricardo is concerned about timing. Ricardo is this, it's very, imagine you doing a job interview for a project manager and you say, what's your experience? And then you tell and say, lie on the other side, right? These will be a reality. Technically speaking, this will be a reality very, very soon. Very, very soon. I don't know how ethics will take a place on this, how governments, how the data protection law, for example, GDPR in Europe, this is also my personal view for you as a project manager. will face challenges because GDPR is based on the model that we're talking about a different type of privacy where I ask you and you tell me, for example, what is your religious belief? And then you tell me, oh, I am this. And then I should not disclose. But if I don't need to ask you, if using AI and using a tool like HighView, I can guess that with a very strong perception. This is public data, right? I'm not, I'm not keeping an information you share with me because you didn't share anything with me. I just watched your video on YouTube or on Instagram, on Facebook, and based on 20 seconds of your voice and the way you move your hands, I can guess with 95% sure where you come from, which is your country, uh, what is your background, or if you're lying or not. So it's a very, very important point for us to think. And this is happening. Look, don't think that I'm talking about science fiction that will happen in 2050. No, I'm talking this will happen. This will happen in a time horizon of 1 to 2 years. I don't know how society will react to that, but I'm talking in terms of technology, this will happen for sure. So we need to be mindful on that, okay? Robin, um, any recommendation for AI education and mastery? Oh, okay. Look, last month, Antonia and we announced a certification on AI. I just want to take this opportunity of your question just to give you a brief update. So we are moving towards the certification. We have the agreement already signed. We have a database of questions and this. So it will be a content material for people to study an exam. And look, the exam is a proctored exam. So it's not an exam that you do at your home with no, it's a knowledge exam. And based on the questions we are setting up, it's not an easy exam. I would say that, I use ChatGPT for 5 minutes and then I'm ready to do the exam. No, it's not, okay? So it will be proctored exam and this. Just to give you the timeline, next week we are starting the pilot, okay? It's a small and short pilot that we want to test if the functionalities are working, if we need to adjust. Then we'll do another pilot late July, and our plan is to release it to the full public, everybody, by the end of August or first week of September. This is our deadline, and we truly believe we will do that. I don't have people asked yet, how much it will cost, and this we do not have. But I have just one suggestion. If you go to PMAI Revolution website, our website, Antonio and I, and go on the certification, you can put your name there to get information when it becomes available, okay? The form is already there. You just need to put your email. So as soon as we have any additional information, we will do. But our plan is still there. So in terms of certification, this is what I can tell to you. But in terms of AI courses, there are many. Okay, so people are asking me, what is the website? So let me do one thing. I'm putting here on the chat, okay? PMAIrevolution.com, okay? So this is the website. I put to all of you. It's the same website of the Mastercard. It's the website, the umbrella website of this initiative Antonio and I are doing, okay? But I would strongly recommend, there is a course on Coursera called AI for Everyone. It's a free course. There's another course, Generative AI for Everyone, also on Coursera, both from Andrew Nee. They are excellent. There is a Caltech, this is more advanced one, course about machine learning that is absolutely excellent, okay? Absolutely excellent too. So for me, these are the courses in the more generic. Of course, I have my generative AI course on LinkedIn also that you can watch. It has 110,000 people. And also PMI has it generative AI for PMI members that you should do. My opinion, my very humble opinion to you, Robin, if I were you, it's like what I'm doing. Do everything. Do everything. Just to have an idea, in this month of July, I'm planning to do myself 4 courses of AI, all of them online. And I'm doing this. Okay. And look, and I'm working on AI a lot. AI is probably 30 to 35% of my time recently, and I'm studying. So I suggest that you never think that you know enough. Okay. This is my personal opinion. Okay. Hi, Munir. How are you? Okay. Very good. Okay. Hello. When you asked a recap in Arabic, how accurate is the translation on a scale from 1 to 100? Oh, Munir, I'm so sorry. I don't speak Arabic. So I don't know. But I saw some colleagues on the chat saying that it was good. What I can tell you, Munir, is that every time I ask in Portuguese, that is my mother tongue, the answer is fantastic. Perfect. Really, really. It's so perfect that you get truly scared. But Munir, it's a homework for you. Use ChatGPT today, open your account, ask it in Arabic and see the answer and tell us what do you think and make a comment here on that. Okay. Uh, um, Iris. Hello, Ricardo. Thanks for sharing so important trends. When we think about project drivers, stakeholder conflicts, and decision making from the project manager, are the AI able to fit these needs? Thanks. Look, Iris, of course, as we move to more soft skills, as we move to conflict management, as we move to negotiations, the tasks of AI are more complex tasks. But what I can see a journey on the AI evolution towards that. And this is what we are calling AGI, or artificial general intelligence. It means the evolution of artificial intelligence in a way that it can perform human level tasks. This is called AGI. We are not there yet. But yesterday, for example, I was reading an article telling that we may reach to AGI by the end of next year, end of 2026. So what do I mean by that? It's when you ask this type of question, you may have an answer that is maybe pasteurized, maybe not the best answer you want, or maybe not the sharpest one. But what I can tell you is that don't believe that because today is less effective, that in 3 months from now will be the same. And this is the critical one thing that I need really. It's my mission on this planet. It's to make sure that we know that things are changing in a super fast pace. And this is why we create all this initiative, because we want to make sure that every single one. Last time we had 2,000 people listening here. I don't know the number here, okay, here, because I don't know what is happening on the other networks, but we need to work together on this, because there are changes happening as we speak, okay, as we speak. So, for example, maybe if I take here ChatGPT and I tell ChatGPT about a conflict, there is a decent chance I will have a reasonable insight. There is a decent chance. Okay, I'm not saying I will, but there is a decent chance, because it's so vast, the literature. Look, remember, ChatGPT read all books on psychology, all books on philosophy, all books on human behavior, all books on economic behavior, all books on politics, all of, and it combines this information. So this is why I'm saying the trend is that these will happen. Okay, this is my personal view on that. Okay, so look, I want just to make sure I get to as many as I can here in terms of question. Okay, Ricardo, how do you see ed tech, educational sector, change with conversational AI? Oh my, it's changing. If you are doing projects on the educational side, I think education is one of the areas that will be most impacted. First, the way we educate people will be different because, for example, I remember when I was a teenager doing a study, one of the things that the professors always ask me, it's, oh, can you write an essay about what is going on this part of the planet? Today, I go on ChatGPT and it takes me 10 seconds to do that. So they will have to revisit that. And for example, the use of technology is something we cannot avoid. It's like in the project. Look, don't think on that it's a reasonable answer. You telling me that my company does not allow I'm using ChatGPT. I understand what you're saying. I understand that your company is concerned, but not using brings as much damage as using it wrongly. Because if everybody has an atomic speed engine and you don't, what do you believe will happen with you? So this is something that we truly need to think. And EdTech is an area that is super hyper important for us to think about on that. Okay. How will this help us to reduce project fail rate and improve employability of professionals, not automated them out of the job? Look, it's an anonymous question, so I don't know the name, but this is the million-dollar question. I'm not saying that this will solve the problem of jobs. And this is why I always talk about this tsunami syndrome that we are facing, because most of the time when we have a tsunami, we have this low tide, and most of the victims, instead of them running away from the beach to a more safe place, they go inside to the ocean because it's so fantastic what they see when the water goes down before the tsunami that they get attracted. And the question I always have in my mind every day is that, are we doing the same? Are we just improving a way of having a trap to us? Look, I don't want to be negative here, but we need to be just mindful on what is happening, okay? On what is happening. And I don't have an answer to that. What I can advise to you that send this question, it's let's be prepared and adapt ourselves. This is why I love the PMBOK guide, the principles, and if people tell me I need to tell you one thing, I say adaptability, 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 and that's it. Because I think people some people will face challenges and they will have to revisit what is their job. That's for sure for me. In terms of fail rate, yes, this is what is the positive side. I think that if we are better equipped, we will lose much less time on analytics. We will have a much more sharp analytics, and we will improve our ability to decide better. So instead of you guessing what is the best direction for your project, you can have this in a nice and sharp way. In a nice and sharp way. This is how I see personally, okay? I'm always cautiously optimistic. I'm not a blindfolded optimistic, but I'm a cautious. I think that if we take this, we can improve dramatically society for the good. But if we do it wrong, then we'll be in trouble. This is my personal view, okay? Using ChatGPT, are you concerned about data security? Yes, I am concerned. Okay. So what I do is I don't feed information confidential. What I do is I I I create an hypothetical example that has the same concept of what I'm trying to get. This is option one. I'm talking for the normal use. If you're corporate use, then you can have additional layers, enterprise ChatGPT, or for example, Microsoft Azure service, where you can have your data protected using the Azure service. Okay, this is just as an example, but I'm talking for you. Listen to me as a project manager using a normal license of ChatGPT. Okay, I would not put sensitive information there. Never. Okay, I will not. This is my advice to all of you. Okay. Uh, uh, Cloud. Ricardo, what would be the core competence of a PM in relation to AI management? If AI will surpass us in knowledge and process integration, what should distinguish the PM to remain relevant? Oh God, this is a perfect question. What is my view? First is our cognitive ability, our ability to work and collaborate in groups, our ability to understand human emotions in a more complex way. I think that maybe in the long-term future, AI will be doing that. But today, it's not that easy or that simple. But what I'm telling is that if you think that your work as a project manager is to, prepare schedules, build budgets, or do risk register, these will be replaced by AI. This is my personal view. Maybe people will disagree with that, but the cognitive ability, your ability to handle trouble, your ability to handle stress, your ability to work under pressure, your ability to conciliate the team, your ability to understand what is going on while drinking a coffee in the cafeteria with the team members, this AI is not there. And it's quite far in my view on that. And this is where I see a massive possibility for us, okay, in terms of AI. For example, for me, if I can see what happened to my work in the past 2 years as a project manager, AI helped me dramatically. And AI was not a challenge because many of the work I used to do by myself, I'm using AI to do, and it's freeing up my time to do other things that are even more relevant. So, did you see? I don't know what I should expect 10 years from now, but this is the trend and how I see that. Okay. Can you rate Rajesh? Can you rate ChatGPT, Gemini, AI, and Copilot in order of preference? Preference, please. Okay, Rajesh. Preference. ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, and Claude. Preference. I'm not doing a benchmark test because, I know that Claude surpassed ChatGPT. Why I'm using it? Because I'm very happy. It was the first one. I'm just used to that. A Copilot is great because it's integrated, and that's it. Okay, but honestly speaking, any of them, you will be very, very well supported. Okay, and this race, look, this is the billion-dollar race. Okay, this is this all these companies are throwing billions on getting this ready. So this is why it's just impossible to compete with them on this. It's just impossible. It doesn't matter how big is your company. If your big a company thinks on building a large language, let me give you, if you think you are managing a large language project and you think you can compete, look, just be prepared to spend billions and billions to be able to compete. Look, Gemini, that is Google, is struggling to compete. So this is a blunt perception on that. Look, I have one update also to give to you. We together, as I said on the certification, uh, I want to say about the Venture Lab. We received many requests on the Venture Lab. The Venture Lab is Antonio and I. We created a Venture Lab where we are supporting, and we have an aim. And Antonio shared this with you last month about building the first unicorn in project management and AI. Of course, we don't want to compete with ChatGPT in this, but we want really to find ways of improving this in a responsible way. And we received already something like 10 or 12 proposals. We are starting to do the first round of interviews next week. We are established the board, and we will support technically, and also we are planning to support with funding on this. So this is the work I just want to explain to you on the same website, PM AI Revolution. If you go to Venture Lab, there is a form you can fill if you have a breakthrough idea, if you have something really, really amazing that we may support you on that. Okay. Before we go, Antonio just sent to me. Look. Oh my friend. Oh my friend. Hold on. Hold on. I saw you now. Let me bring you, Antonio. Just a second. Let me bring you. Hold on. Oh God. Sorry, Antonio. Antonio. Let me. Antonio, come in, my friend. I just promoted you to panelist. I'm so sorry. I didn't see you. I was talking and I was afraid that you would not be able to join. My friend, you are on mute. You are on mute.
Okay, nice to see you, Ricardo. Everyone, thank you. I was
So,
listening, and you
friend, congratulations for your children. Okay, congratulations.
Good job, good project for my kids. They both graduated the same day, but I was listening to you, Ricardo, and I said, "Wow, it's really good." Good job.
Thank you, my friend. I was just talking about the venture lab. Maybe you can give a quick update on that.
Yeah, so this is one of the kind of next wave of ideas that Ricardo and I have. So we started with the HBR article, we followed with the masterclass and the research, and I think the potential is so huge. And what we've seen from the community that joined our masterclass or in this call is that there's so many good ideas. And somehow this profession of project managers is not connected to the entrepreneurship world, and we have that luck that Ricardo and I have that connection. We've been advising some of the tools that you see in the masterclass. We said, let's build something that we can help the community to get to businesses, to help them develop solutions, get them to some of our clients just to test it, support them. And we launched this one when Ricardo maybe one month ago in the previous, and we have I think maybe 6, 7 really good ideas already. Like you said, Ricardo, we're going to start interviewing next week. So this is yes, exciting, very exciting. So yeah, anybody, Ricardo, you already mentioned where to find info, where to fill in the form, and we look forward to just growing this community and taking some of these big opportunities that we talk about.
Perfect. Look, we are close to the hour here, so thank you very much, Antonio. Sorry for not seeing you because I saw you in the chat, but I was so concentrated here. So look,
I saw. I really like that.
Thank you all for joining this, and see you again in the first week, first Friday of August, same time, to give you an update on what's going on. Okay, have a wonderful weekend ahead. Okay, stay well. Antonio, congratulations to our children today. Okay, it's a big day for you. Okay,
Thank
big
you.
day.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Enjoy
Thank
the
you very much.
football.